Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon or evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're all well and happy Friday. It's finally the weekend. I hope lots of you are sitting back and relaxing after a busy day or week at work. If not, hopefully it won't be long before you can do and enjoy your weekend. So I've got the new textures launch for you today. This live was originally scheduled for 11 a.m. But I was having some work done on the house and it was much noisier than anticipated, so we thought we'll do it this evening instead, because we knew that the roofers would be gone home by now, especially on a Friday. He was sort of done by 3 o'clock. So let me see. I need my glasses on. So I've got both Facebook and YouTube comments up. I will try to keep up with both of them. YouTube, first of all, let me see, put these on so I can actually see what I'm saying. Sally, hello, how are you? And Debbie, good morning to you. Debbie, Helen, hi. Rosalie, hi to you. And Melly J. Greetings from Maryland. That's M Dobro. What's your first name? Hello, thank you for joining us. Dorota, so I know someone with the same name as you. What do we call? We shorten it. I can't think how we shorten it. I don't know if you're the same. Hello to Lou and all the crafters. It's noon there. Yeah, we find on YouTube lots of people are more sort of spread out around the world. So good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Hi, Carmen. Thank you so much. It's lunchtime in Orlando. Marguerite, am I saying that correctly? Marguerite, I'll try to remember that when I see you. Good afternoon, Jenny, as well. Okay, so over to Facebook. Jeanette, hello, how are you? And Isla, glad it's on now, not this morning. Oh, could you not join this morning? But you know. Carol, hello to you too. So thank you all for joining me this evening. I hope you've all had a fantastic week. It has been crazy busy for me. I probably look completely stressed as well. It's been a crazy week. This launch kind of crept up on me a little bit, I'll be honest. I knew it was coming up. It was in my diary. I've had the products for a while, and then all of a sudden it was like, it's this Friday. So a lot of work goes into it. So I've spent the week working on it. We've also had lots of things, as you know, going on in the house as well this week. So yeah, it's been a very busy week, and actually this live that's it for me for the working week. Then I'm going to be enjoying my Saturday and Sunday off before something very exciting next week. I'll tell you while people are still joining. So certainly here in the UK, we have a few different craft shopping channels. At the minute, there's one main one, Hobby Maker, and I'm going to be on Hobby Maker on Wednesday with some made to surprise items. Now, they're not new items. They are older items you may have not got hold of before, but I believe that's at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. So that'll be exciting, because my background, for any of you who don't know, I was on Create and Craft for many years. Create and Craft was one of the largest channels. Then it moved to Hochanda, the craft channel, was that one? I've forgotten. Craft store, I forget all the different names, change names lots, but we are CraftStash as a company. We're going to be promoting on Hobby Maker, so I'm very excited. Sharon Curtis has had some of the creative craft products over there in the last month or two. She's had a few shows with those. So yeah, I'm really excited to go and see lots of old faces from other people who were working with me in the past and who are now working there. So that'll be exciting. And yeah, I've got that all of next week. So this is a busy few weeks. Life's like that. It's all or nothing. Exactly, Carol. It really is. Hey, Elaine, how are you? And Jean, hello. Lots of you on YouTube as well. Kathy's from San Diego. Jenny is in Australia, so it's 3 o'clock in the morning for her. Wow, Jenny, what are you doing? Why are you even watching? Hi, Louise Noah, how are you? Polish, living in the US, have my legal spelling from my passport. I'm trying to think what we call her. It's completely gone. Now I've seen your name written down, it's completely gone. But accidentally creative. Hello. How are you? Right, okay, so I'm going to bring you down to my desk, down to my hands. So that's it for this now, you lucky people, and show you the new collection. Now I have to say there are 2 items in the collection that are brand new, as in we've never produced them at CraftStash before. In fact, we didn't even produce them. We got another major company to produce them for us because they work with something else. I'll explain all of that. But you can buy everything as a bundle without those items if they're too new for you and you haven't explored them yet, or you can buy everything together. I'm going to show you a little bit of everything, I think. So there's going to be 1 card demonstration and then some techniques and things with everything else. So I don't know whether it'll be an hour, just over. Well, shouldn't be, just under, I wouldn't have thought. Hi, Karen, you're on both. She's gone over to Facebook now. So yeah, accidentally creative. She's Karen on Facebook. Yeah. Lynn, no, you haven't missed it at all. Hi, Benita, how are you? Okay, so down to my desk now. Let's look at the collection. Now, this is everything. I haven't actually, believe it or not, I haven't actually got the packaging. That, by the way, that's me moving my die cutting machine, in case you're wondering. So these items are the new items. I'll explain those after everything else. I don't actually even have the packaging because it was, you know, I'll explain that when I get to it. So the main items that you are used to seeing mostly are these ones. And this is the Secret Garden collection. Now the Secret Garden collection, it kind of, well, it came from, I really wanted a brick wall embossing folder. Okay, it sounds a silly thing to be able to hold a collection on, but I just really wanted it. And I mean, check this out. Lots of you have found it already. It's a 3D embossing folder that creates a stone cobble wall. Oh, it's just so beautiful. And when you ink it, it's lovely. So we have a 3D embossing folder, and this is what I based everything on. Then I thought, right, Secret Garden needs gates, it needs flowers. So we've got lots and lots here. Hey, Nova. Yeah, there's going to be some older made surprise items on Hobby Maker next week. They are older ones. So if you've already been collecting everything, it won't be anything new for you, but yeah, just letting you know that's what I've got going on over the next week or so after this launch. Breathe at the weekend and then straight into it next week. So that's the embossing folder. It's 5x7. It is 3D, so I'll show you how to run that through die cutting machine. It's a little bit different to other embossing folders, as you probably already know if you've embossed anything in 3D. It's just such an amazing technique. Then we've got the rose. This is the winter rose. The reason it's a winter rose is because I was actually asked to do quite a wintry collection, and I said, do you know what? No, because I didn't want it to be season specific. I didn't want you to be limited to when you can use it. So it's a winter rose, but you can absolutely use this all year round. I will be showing you some samples of cards in a moment. So this one is extra special, and it actually doesn't show this on the packet either. But if I show you all the dies, you get a lot of dies. 27 dies in there. I've taped them together and things just to keep them organised. But the idea with this, and you've probably seen some of these examples on social media over the last few days, is not only do you create this dimensional flower so you can curl and shape the leaves and the petals, so you get lots of dimension in there, but you can also shape your card base on the edge to fit it, so you've got this beautiful shaped cards. I love that, and you can use it with or without the shaped edge. So this is the, oops, got my cables mixed up, that's the edger die that lays on the edge of your card base. You cut that away, it cuts easily through 2 layers of cardstock. Yeah, and you go ahead and you fill it in with your flowers and your leaves, and you've got a beautiful shaped card. Just so you know, everything that I'm showing you here is all available through the links. They're pinned on both CraftStash, on both YouTube and Facebook, so you can go straight to the collection. But it's all there if you go onto CraftStash, as you usually would. It's all there on the home page at the moment. Now we've got some rub-ons. Who remembers rub-ons? Who's been crafting long enough to remember rub-ons? Because I've got some of these that are probably 15, 17 years old, some rub-ons, and they just got lost, didn't they? Nobody was making them anymore for a long time. Yeah, the embossing folder is a must-have, definitely. But they're coming back. Rub-ons are coming back. Now we are experimenting with our supplier. So we've just got black ones this time, but we're looking into coloured rub-ons in the future. There's 4 different designs. You've got to have letters, so I've always got to give you text and letters and fonts. So you've got all your letters, so you can cut these out individually, rub them onto your project so that you can write your own names. So you haven't got to get your die cutting machine out, you haven't got to get your stamps and inks, you just simply use something like a bone folder and you just burnish them onto your project. So really, really simple. So we've got the letters in there, and then you've got this lovely brick wall pattern again, distressed brick wall. With a little cut through 2 layers of, if you've got a metal shim or a chrome base plate, absolutely. Just run it through a couple of times, Helen. It'll be absolutely fine. So yeah, you've got flourishes in here, florals, vines. It's kind of distressed, almost Moroccan tiles, but distressed. That's going to be great for your art journaling. More florals there, and then the same here. We've got some swirls as well. So everything you can cut away. I think there's a short video coming out sharing how I use my my rub-ons. So that's that one. Then let's go to the gates. The gates have been really popular as well. They are so beautiful. These are actually, I remember rub-ons. I think they're better now. Yeah, I think they have improved a lot. So you do get 2 gates, and you get 2 hinges. Now the gates are created to go like so. You can see the detail. I mean, exquisite, absolutely beautiful. Hi Monica, how are you? Thank you for joining us, Monica. She has made some beautiful, beautiful cards using this collection. I know Monica's had this collection a long time as well. So yeah, we've had chance to do lots of playing with it, and again I'll show you some cards in a moment. But these are the gates. You can use 1 gate, you can use 2, and you can also use them if you want to. You can switch them over and have them as gates of that shape if you want. I just think that's extra pretty, and I think that's what I'm going to do on my card today, as well as have them that way. And then when I say the hinges, they are for the shorter edge, but you've just got these hinges that you can cut and place on too. If you maybe want to do hinges from a different colour, you can do that. Make some fun cards with the gates and the brick wall, of course. And then we have got 2 more items. So sentiments, always got to have some sentiments in there. The gates are stunning. Thank you, Helen. Yeah, Monica says as well, the gates are so pretty. I like the size of the gates. Yeah, and they cut beautifully. I mean, I don't say that unless they do. When there's a large die, I expect them to be a little bit more difficult to cut out because it's a large surface area to get through, especially when they are as detailed as they are. They cut perfectly. I'm going to cut them live today. They cut perfectly every time. So these are the sentiments. Now the idea with these, I have to get them out because they are much larger than you think by looking at the packaging. Isn't that always the case? With textures, I don't like to do things small usually. So we have got the word U, or the letters U, in die form. There's 3 layers to this. You've got some super slim letters, Y-O-U, then you've got the outline for that, and then you've got another drop shadow. So you've got 3 layers you could potentially do. And you can mix and match them depending on how fine or how chunky you want your die cut word U. And then you've got all the stamps to put around this word. So you are the best. Thank you. Flowers for you. You make me smile. Happy birthday to you. You are so special. Love you. And just for you. So you've got everything. You're covering all occasions there. Absolutely love those. I'll just keep using them and using them. Lastly, we have a layering. Now we love our layering stamps, don't we? Layering stamps, layering stencils, layering dies. Obviously the winter rose is a layering die, so we've got layering stamp here. Now this has got a really pretty and fine floral border. That's the word I'm looking for. It's actually called layering floral border, so I shouldn't have been stuck with that. It's got this floral border at the bottom, and then the stamp, the separate stamp at the top here. This you can stamp either first or second, but you can ink your petals and your leaves separately. So you ink these maybe with something like a stencil brush, you stamp them, and then you stamp back over with your outline to go over everything. So you've got a multicolored stamp then. That is just A6, so it's nice and small, nice and inexpensive for you. Adele, hello, how are you? I'm very well, thank you very much, on YouTube. Amanda, hello from Spain. on Facebook. How are you? I hope you are well. If all of you who are in crafty groups or have crafty friends on your Facebook or on your YouTube feeds, if you can share this live while you're sitting and commenting and watching, that would be really helpful. Get people coming in and watching, and lots of other people to chat to as well. I'd like to see what Sam's going to do with this selection, Lou. With all respect, you have two. Yeah, we do have such different styles. I don't know if Sam's got it. She doesn't usually get my stuff. I think she's only got, well, we were talking the other day, she's only got 2 or 3 items of mine. So she's probably not going to be doing anything with this unless she goes and buys it herself. She certainly won't be sent it. Okay, one more. This is actually really exciting. But I was asked if I wanted to create some letter. I've got a bit of lead flying around there, for a pencil or something. Wanted to create some letterpress plates. Now, letterpress plates made by spellbinders. Actually made by spellbinders to go in or to coordinate with or be compatible with their Better Press system. If you've not seen the Better Press system, just in case, this is it. Letterpress made better. Okay, I can't answer about, I know Crafters Companion have recently just bought out a letterpress system. I don't know yet. It's so new. These are so new, and Crafters Companion one is so new. I don't know if they're going to be compatible. I'm sorry, I can't help you there. Anyone who gets these and has the Crafters Companion one, if you can let me know, that would be great. It's something we need to research and explore because they've just sort of come out with theirs recently. But this is the Spellbinders Better Press. It's been out a long time, and it's essentially a plate that it's magnetic, and you put your letterpress on here. So this is, I've obviously got 2 of them, and then you ink it, you put it through with paper, and that then runs through your die cutting machine. I will demonstrate that a little bit later. But yes, so Spellbinders have actually developed these for us, or made these for us. They are under the brand of Textures. I don't have the packaging just because we've been testing these, throwing them around, really working with them right up to today, like last week, so I don't have final packaging because it's like, yeah, these ones work, I'm keeping these, they're perfect. I hand drew, I digitally drew all of this, and I will show you. I'll go to the samples in a minute, you'll see. So this one actually says today is all about you, lots of foliage around there, and then this is a beautiful magnolia spray as such. I've not known what letterpress is, so good to see. So letterpress is basically pressing ink into a cardstock, so you actually get like a deboss with it as well. It's such a beautiful effect. You can use these with without ink as well, but ideally you do need a Better Press system with them. They should be available on CraftStash now. That's where I got mine from. If it goes out of stock, that will soon be back in. You can get them other places as well, I'm sure. But becoming very, very popular for creating really quick cards. So let's have a look at the samples that I've made. This one you probably saw because I did a YouTube video on it. It's over on my channel at the minute, this diorama. So I think this went out late last night, sometime last night, yesterday evening. So this is incorporating those florals there, and with the florals you've got the stem, you've got the leaves, the flowers, but you don't have to always do the same composition. So you don't always have to put the flowers in exactly the same place unless you're using that edge die. So because I wasn't using the edge die, I could move the flowers and the flower heads and the leaves about and give me 2 different stems of roses. Then I've got the gates in between here, and then in there I have also got the brick walls and of course the sentiments. Let me just check. Make sure there's nothing. Is there any way to use them without a letterpress? I am going to now explore. Oh, Nikki Shaw. OMG, letterpress plates. I know, they're very exciting, aren't they? Helena, I'm going to be exploring ways of, I'm pretty sure there's going to be, if you've got rubber mats, there's going to be easy ways to use them. I'm sure you can absolutely stamp with these alone, definitely with your die cutting machine. If you don't letterpress, does that make sense? If you just stamp with them, they'd still look beautiful. So let's have a look at some of these examples. So I have already shown you these very briefly, the shaped cards with the Winter Rose die set. This is one of the letterpress plates in black, so you can see the detail. I've just simply coloured that in with my alcohol markers. Really, really quick and easy. I had so much fun making that card actually, because I don't usually sit and colour, and it just took me away for a little while. It was a busy week and I got to sit and colour for about 10-15 minutes. It was absolutely lovely. Really enjoyed doing that. So very relaxing. Helena loves the magnolia one, so I'll show you. So that's in the gold, because when I said about stamping these with ink, you could stamp with embossing ink and then put embossing powder over them, so then they look foiled as well. So really pretty. I'm going to do a craft along with this collection, and I will definitely be exploring using these without the Better Press system as well for that craft along. I've got a feeling it's, I can't remember. Okay, it'll be about 2 weeks time. What card have you used? I use watercolor cards stock. For anyone who's confused about the Better Press, like best practice with it and things like that, I've actually got a video again on my channel on YouTube, and this shows how to use the Better Press system with things you've already got in your craft room. So with dies other than the Better Press dies, with paper other than the cotton paper, okay, things like that. So take a look at that if you have got one. It's worth having a look. You can, yeah, you can foil with them as well if you've got a foiling machine, by the way. Thank you, Nikki, I forgot about that. If you do have a foiling machine, you can use these as well for that. Can you glimmer with your Better Press using the Spellbinders glimmer system? Can you glimmer with the Better Press using the Spellbinder? I'm not sure, Paul. I will have a look into it for you. There's lots and lots I need to explore. Like I said, these have just been signed off. Literally, it was such last minute. We got the design just perfect. Really excited, but I've still got so much more to play with. Yeah, I think I've answered everything. So that is with gold embossing powder and ink, so you can hopefully really see the design. Then I've got the magnolia one, again in gold. I just love doing it in gold, so I did it twice, one onto my card base and then one onto some purple cardstock. Cut it out, put it over the top, and you can see you've got that sentiment there. And yeah, really, really pretty. This is that floral border, just stamped once in black. Then I stamped it again without re-inking it. Then I stamped it again a third time without re-inking it. So you get this faded effect. A simple sentiment on top. The step-by-step for this is actually in Creative Stamping now. It's just come out. So yeah. Hi, Lynn. How are you? I hope I haven't missed too much. I'm just going through everything still. So there's those gates. I love the green with the gold gilding wax on, because I just think they look really nice and sort of patinaed and old. Really like adding gilding wax to these gates. Love, love, love. Thank you, Lynn. So there's that border underneath as well. So you can see I've used pink and green, and then I've actually stamped over rather than black, so it's not quite so harsh. I've stamped over in a dark green as well. A little bit of blue inking in the background, and yeah, really pretty card there. And then here's just one more for you. So this is all stuck down, so it's not opening, but you get the idea of the gates in the background. Again, those roses where I haven't put them alongside the edge of the card, I've gone for something slightly different there with those, but you've got the dimension. Now the florals don't have to be really, really dimensional. You can absolutely glue them down flat if you want to. So yeah, it's entirely up to you how you want to post it and such. And something I really like to do, I don't know if you can just see those on there, the little droplets. So they're like glossy accents, little drops of glossy accents on there. So yeah, really, really pretty. Okay, so let's put those to the side. Let's get demonstrating. I am going to just show you the basics of these later when I've gone through a card with you. And let's bring in everything that I have so far prepared here. So I am going to, let's start with putting the flower together, shall we? So the idea is I'm going to have a card, a nice big card base, because the roses are nice and big, so nice big card base. I'm going to have a mat in the middle that will anchor those gates down. They can sit on there. It's going to be from black with some silver wax on there, I think. And I'm going to have some nice lilac flowers in there. So let's do the flowers. And to get a little bit of variation with the flowers, I'm going to get inky. Of course I can. Let me see. I ordered last night and it was shipped at 10:30 this morning. Wow, you'll have it by Monday. If not tomorrow, Helen. I'm not sure how they're shipping it, how you've got it, but yeah, that's very quick. Hi, Carol. Have a lovely weekend, Carol. Thank you for joining us. Yes, you can use the Glimmer system. See, Nikki's in the know. This is all things I need to explore. I can't wait to get playing with it all. So I've got lilac coloured cardstock. This just saves me adding another layer of ink. And I'm just going to do some smooshing to get some different colours here. This is for my petals, so I'm not looking for perfection. I actually want some nice texture in there. Look at the mess I've made. Doesn't matter. Absolutely does not matter at all. Let's just clean this off. Because it's all water-based, it will come away. Let's put that over there. And clean this up. See, that's actually drying as I'm wiping things up, but I will give it a little heat set. So we're just trying out Facebook and YouTube. Hopefully I'm keeping up with the comments okay. Karen's intrigued. You're welcome, Carol. Take care. So we're trying out Facebook and YouTube tonight because I have the ability to stream to both. Just because it's nice. We do miss speaking to our YouTube viewers. We used to go live to YouTube every Friday lunchtime, as well as Facebook. Hope this isn't too loud for everybody while I dry this off. But yeah, we ended up focusing on one platform because we were worried about do I have a shop? Pinned comment, Katie, is the shop where everything's come from. Everything is from there. So it's CraftStash, and there's a UK and a US link to both of them. Same shop, just different currencies and shipping and things. There we go. So yeah, we miss speaking to everybody on YouTube. Hey Kim, how are you? Fabulous. Well, what colour was that? This was Seedless Preserves on lilac cardstock. Okay, now let's take a look at these flowers. What I would suggest to you, now I am developing, oh sorry, a shop to walk in, sorry, no we don't. We are completely online. We have a massive warehouse, but it's not open to the public, unfortunately. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Get everyone into the warehouse, go and have a snout around. I think you'd get lost amongst boxes, it's huge. I would suggest when you first get these that you separate everything, take a careful look at the packaging, okay, because there are 3 flowers, all of the petals are kind of together, and it is, I'll admit, and I wanted these bunched up, but unfortunately we couldn't do it for various reasons, which I won't go into because it just gets complicated, but I separate the greenery, so the leaves and the stem, I've separated those, and I've taped most of these together. I've separated the stamen. This I don't, so this is the edge there, and then I've got the flower heads, the 3 flower heads, and all the petals all sort of taped together. I'm going to pop them on there because they're on tape, low tack tape, and the low tack tape won't last forever, but it will last a little while before I need to replace it. I can now just die cut everything pretty much together. So there's the flower heads and then the petals. And as I said, I am developing a PDF. Sorry, I did start saying that and I stopped. Developing a PDF that will explain to you where each shape petal. So you just need to match up the shape and it will tell you which flower it goes onto and which layer. Okay, these things do take a long time. We have to do it digitally. The team at CraftStash were going to try and get it done for us, but they've been so busy the last couple of weeks they haven't managed it. So I'm gonna have a go myself and get it done for you, but it's taking a little while. Okay, so I have got a chrome base plate. Finally, I said for months and months and months I was going to buy one. I finally bought one. So I'll just cut through these. I love that noise. Hi Brenda, how are you? I hope you are well. So let's just see. So when you are popping these pieces out, just you put them to the side, everything releases really nicely. Let's take a pokey tool. And I've put, how many of these? This is probably going to be like my 8th rows that I'll have put together. And it's just, it gets quicker every time because I just remember where petals go. But once you put one together by following the packaging, the image on the packaging, if you look carefully at it, it's actually darker in some places on the image on the front. So you can see which are the individual layers. Once you've done that once, I would suggest just do one to have a play with. And then you just keep that to the side and you just copy that each time. Now, even though I've got tape on the back, I still poke a hole through the release holes in the tape, just so that I can get everything out. Is that you there? Yep. Any more? One little one there. So let's minimize this down. I'd love to bring you in a bit smaller and I can't. I will cut some more pieces in a moment. So we've got our 3 flower heads here, and then we've got our additional shapes. And if you look at this, can you see the difference, the different shapes there? So I will usually have one of those in front of me and I will just follow that. But like I say, I am sort of starting to try to get to know it now. There's 2 buds in here you can take out straight away because these are just individual buds. They're the oval looking ones. So you can pop them to the side because they don't need any layering doing at all. You need yourself a glue. And all you really want to do is take a look at, that one's my side one, that one's my upright one. Take a look at you hold the center of the petal and you can tell which is the center because each one goes down to a point somewhere. Have a look at the edge, so the contour of the edge, and match that up with the base of your flower. Okay, I'm going to be shaping this, so I am going to do some rolling and then pinch the end. So I've got, hopefully you can see that, I've got an S shape there. I'm just going to pop a little tiny, that was way too much. I was going to say a little tiny dot of glue. Brenda's good. I am so glad. Love a chrome plate. You've put chrome pote. And I was going to say chrome potato. What's that? Spelling mistake. Typo. Are you on the wine already, Karen? That's what I'll be doing when I get off. Now, I like to make things easier, I do like to do the small head quite quickly because there are 3 pieces that I find quite easy to put onto this. You might want to refer back to this video, but the first one for the smallest head in the center has a really flat end. Doesn't go to a point like all the others, so that one's really easy to determine. So I'm just bending that into that S shape. I have my tweezers. I think they're more for looks because I don't use them often. And that goes right in the middle of the little flower head. I'll hold all these up. I'm not sure how big your screens are at the moment. And then there's 2 more that are fairly obvious that they are side pieces. That one there, that one there. So let's, again, rolling. You can use your pokey tool, that's the best way of doing it, but I tend to end up just rolling between my fingers. And once you recognize where a few of the pieces go, it becomes so easy because you're only left with a few then. And you're like, oh, okay, it's like a jigsaw puzzle when you've got sort of the last few bits. You're like, oh, okay, that must go there, that must go there. Okay, so there's just 3 bits onto my small flower head. That one's nice and easy. And then we need to build up. See, looking at the edge, the contour, we've got these bumps, they match. If you're really stuck, just go around with your petal, go around the entire flowers and find out where they match. They're only going to match one place. So a little bit of glue there. So what is everybody's weekend plans? Could I zoom? If I zoom in, you won't see my face. I'm not actually worried about you seeing my face anymore. I can zoom in a little bit. I'm actually just going to lower my camera down. So bear with, it's going to get rocky, everyone, because if I zoom in, you lose the picture a little bit. So as much as I can do, I'm afraid. Hopefully that'll stabilize in 2 seconds for you. I can't really zoom in any more than that at the moment. So yeah, what are everyone's weekend's plans? Have we got anything exciting going on? My husband's my husband's going to watch a football match tomorrow. He's going to watch a local football match, but he supports the away team. And he's got to sit on our local team's side because his friend actually got him the tickets. Hang on, I've just done that wrong. You go there. So his friend got him tickets for Ipswich Everton. My husband is an Everton fan and we live near Ipswich. So I'm sure he'll make it home in one piece. I'm sure he will. He's out most of the afternoon and evening, which will be nice and quiet around here. The children will do whatever the children want to do because they're all teenagers. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do tomorrow afternoon. I think I'm going to go to the gym and then come back, relax, put something on Netflix probably, because Sunday we've got roofers here. I've got to remember we do have roofers here pretty much all day. So Halloween party, Brenda. At your son's house, introducing your new grandson who was born in July. Oh, wonderful. That sounds lovely. Are you really big on Halloween? Do you go all out for it? Benita, me and Hubby said, 40 years. Amazing. Congratulations on Sunday. So a nice dinner at home is planned. Lovely. Happy anniversary for Sunday. Hope he gets you something nice. Nice bunch of flowers maybe. Lovely. So we've got roofers here tomorrow. They were here today, hence this late live. They are back here tomorrow. I think they're having Sunday off and they're back here on Monday, and then they're back the following weekend as well. We've got 2 roofs to do, so there's a lot, but very nice. Watching my grandson play soccer tomorrow is only 5-year-olds playing soccer is just yummy. My son has just got to the age where he's just too old. He's finished youth football and he's decided with college and everything he's not going to go into adult football at the moment. So yeah, it's sad. Okay, so there are 2 pieces you don't have to put on, and I tend not to. I think I'm going to do it because this is the live. But if you're ever in a hurry, you really don't have to put these pieces on. But again, it's all on the packet. You can look at the image and work out where these go. Just remember, one of your flowers is a sideways facing one. This one goes sideways, and the slightly larger one is a normal upright one. I need to cut a couple of stamens, and I haven't cut any yellow yet, so I'll do that. Paul, moving house. Oh no. But I know the stress. That's good. Are you moving far? Is it like a lot of travelling? Crafting postponed until unpacked. Oh no. That's the worst, isn't it? When you are stressed with something like moving house, you just want to go and craft to chill out. Well, I hope you get all your craft stuff out again and all goes nice and smoothly. Moving house on a Saturday. Did you get the keys today, Paul? Because usually Friday is like the day, isn't it? Or is it a Saturday move for everybody? Brenda's just fun. She just has fun dressing up, getting together, no stress of a special holiday. Yeah, take it nice and easy. Nice. Vicky, watch YouTube and do laundry, church on Sunday. Sounds perfect. So we've got 2 stamen here. We don't have stamen for the small head. So let's pop this on. There is a direction with the stamen. You'll see it on the packet again. I'm just going to tuck that one under there. Oops. Under there. Okay, so they are the flower heads and the 2 buds. While I was chatting, I managed to put those together. Like I say, PDF will come as soon as I possibly can. So let's do the leaves and everything else. So this is the leaves, the stem, and okay, so everybody, what is the name for the little green piece that's at the base of the petals on a flower? You know, that goes from the stem up. Almost creates the bud when it's a bud, and then opens up, and then the petals come out of it. You can always use those petals and create your own flower. Oh yeah, absolutely. Well done, Monica. Thank you for see things like that. I just don't think to say. And so I see 2 eyes, 2 sets of eyes are best for one. Yes, so you can absolutely use the petals and build your own up. So I tend to just pop these out. Everything should come away nicely. These are some really nice leaves as well. In fact, I should have a card somewhere, which of course I've lost. Not lost, I know where it is and it's out of reach. But I've got a card somewhere where I have cut these leaves. You see, these leaves have actually got embossing detail on them. I've cut these from craft foam and then stamped with them, and they make a really nice background. Very pretty. Calyx. Oh, that's the name. Oh, right, I thought, why are you writing calyx? Is that the name for it, is it? Thank you. I knew there'd be somebody who was much better with flower part names than me. So we have 3 of those. I think I need to replace my tape on these ones. I've been using this a lot this week. And as I say, the tape does eventually wear. So 3 calyx. Am I saying that right? It sounds like I'm saying like an IKEA shelving unit. Oh, Karen, you're rearranging your craft room this weekend. Good luck with that. I kind of did that a bit. Calyx. So Nova spelt it on YouTube Calyx, and Christine said Calyx as in the IKEA shelving spelling. So I don't know which is which. I don't know which is correct, but I suppose I'm sort of saying it right. But yeah, so we have those as well. At least you know what I mean, what I'm talking about. So these then, do you know what? I'm actually not going to, no, I'm not going to glue the flower heads and the leaves onto the stem right now. I'm going to do that when I'm finishing off the card and putting these on top, because then I can position them where I think they'll look best. So just putting these calyx. Oh, right, okay, so it's not calyx, it's not like calyx, yeah, calyx. I see, yeah, so Calyx, but it's spelled calyx. Sorry, it's pronounced calyx. I think I've got that right. The things I'm gluing now. These ones. So my husband went to a race. It was a charity race evening last night, and he won a bottle of wine. Now my husband doesn't drink at all. Completely teetotal. So guess who's just got to drink that bottle of wine this evening? Such a shame. So that's what I'll be doing after the live. I'll have a cup of tea first, have my evening cup of tea, cook dinner, then I'll open the wine. Right, okay, now moving on to this embossing folder because it's so beautiful. You sound shattered. Yeah, a little bit. Helena, thank you so much. Yeah, pretty flowers, and they'll look better when they're all put together. Now let's see this embossing folder in action. I'm really pleased with this. I'm going to use craft cardstock because I always say the thicker the cardstock, the better in a 3D folder. You definitely want to get the most detail out of it, because if your cardstock is too thin, it is just going to stretch it and crack it. Right, so I'm going to take my base plate out. So all I've got in here in the big shop is my white base plate, my thin teal coloured one, plastic one, embossing folder, and then a clear plate on top. Mine's glittery, but it's one of the clear plates. And when you run this through, there is a little bit of pressure. Once you get going, it's fine. Sheena, I love that embossing folder. It's amazing. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really pleased with this one. Really pleased with this. It is lovely. Look at that. Obviously it's still a little bit damp. Really beautiful. And if you inked the cement with like a white pigment ink, you could get white lines in there. But I want to show you how I join these two to make a slightly wider part, because this is 5x7 and the card base that I have sort of started to prepare is larger. So it's this, which you can see is kind of almost six inches wide. So I needed just a little bit more added on. So I wanted to show you how I overlap 2 of these seamlessly, or I have before. Let's hope it works again. So I just take a pair of scissors and I just cut around some of the bricks as I go up. So following the line. It's a really, really deep emboss, so you should be fine. Just making sure that on the edge you just got full cobbles rather than any half ones, which of course the design currently has. Try and get as close to them as possible. This cardstock is of course a little bit damp there, so it's not really cutting very well there. I'm just going to dry that. I don't want to tear it. Obviously spritz a little bit too much water there. Quick whiz with the heat tool and that will dry it off, make it easier to cut. The same if you're die cutting, you don't want to die cut wet cardstock. You have a bottle of wine, it's not a shame. You know, it's from my loved husband. Yeah, he brought it home for me. Like I say, he doesn't drink, so brought it home for me. Nice that he thought of me. He's still working. He's got to work late tonight, unfortunately. Doesn't know what time he'll be home. But he got to finish early yesterday because they had this charity evening to go to, so it's not all bad. Let's come out. Yeah, just weaving in and out, trying to do the least straight line possible. Make sure you've got lots of movement in there. Now this is way larger than I need because I will cut this down. And now, as if by magic, if I apply glue to the reverse of this wavy edge that I've just cut. So if you like your fussy cutting, that's perfect. I'm just going to, where's my piece of cardstock? It's under here. Just make sure that I'm making this big enough. Yeah, so just place this down. Press that in, and your, oops, this one's curled up for some reason. Let's uncurl that. And the join will almost disappear. Obviously not completely, but okay, let's do that. Can you see the join now? Not really. There, so that's how I hide it, the join's there. Let's do a little bit of inking. Let's take, what have we got? Walnut stain, that will be perfect. Because this is a 3D folder, we've got more than just one layer here. Thank you, Sheena. She loves the embossing folder. Yeah, it's really cool. You deserve some wind down time. It'll go down. So because you've got different levels here of the bricks, when you do run a brush over the top or a blending foam or whatever it is you're using, the bricks are all going to take the colour differently. So if I try to keep my brush fairly flat and just run a light coating over, can you see some are picking up more colour than others? They're not all going the same colour. So you'll get darker areas. So those ones are quite deep. These ones here are quite deep. I can, now I've started inking, I can see which ones are the deeper ones and which ones are not. So I can really focus on those to get lots of variation. I'm going to be trimming this down a little. You see that? So you get lighter and darker areas, and the same is going to help me. I'm sorry, help me. I'm just reading a message from my daughter. The puppy's discovered how to get into the rest of the garden. We've got a big garden and we've sectioned a bit off for him. He's discovered how to get out of that. And my daughter doesn't do running. So she's like, can you help me get him when you're done? Well, I'm going to be a while, so she'll have to wait. So I'm actually going to cheat here. I don't want a perfect outline, so I'm going to cut round my perfectly trimmed card here and make this, put this to size. I don't want to put this in a trimmer, because if I put it in my trimmer, I'm going to squish all of that lovely emboss. But yeah, if you ink your embossing folder, sorry, I was saying, if you ink your embossing folder, you're going to end up with only some of the stones being inked, if you like to do it that way. There we go. Okay. So, oh yes, so Puppy's doing really well. We're still trying to toilet train him, but he's now, must be coming up, he's about 11 weeks, coming up for 11 weeks. So it's hard, it's tough when you've got brand new carpets all over in the whole house. And you've got a new puppy. It's been an adjustment. I am going to just also, with my ink, I'm just going to brush the edge of this white card. So I put the white cardstock on for stability, because the craft cardstock, now it's got texture in it, it's quite flexible. So the white cardstock, the white base underneath, is purely to strengthen, so it can go on to the next layer. That's all. It's not essential really, but gluing anything as textured as this would be quite difficult anyway. I'm going to put that onto a black base. Ooh. There we go, just using my wet glue. Let me see. Love this. Thank you, Julie. Hello. Have I not said hello to you yet, Julie? I don't think I have. Hope you're well. Ta-da! There we go. And that is going to go in the middle of my card, because I wanted a nice, there's a mark on that one. So I wanted a nice large card that the flower would happily sit on at the gates. So let's do the gates next. We've got the gates to the secret garden. Now, actually, the secret garden was a little gate. It was in the stone wall, wasn't it? But hence the stone wall. But you can have gates if you wish. Beautiful ornate gates. You can have one or you can have two, and you can have them either way round. So I'm going to switch back to my hang on a minute, let's take this off. I am going to switch back to my chrome base plate excuse me, in here. Clear my throat. I didn't bring a drink with me, typically. And I don't know if you can see it, actually. I want to show you. So just cutting with my base plate. I still, even though I've got the chrome base plate, I still prefer to cut one at a time rather than take both. You can take both through, but I prefer to do it one at a time and come back. And these are the super decorative ones. Just cut absolutely beautifully every time. Look. Now, obviously, there's lots of little pieces, and I'll need to just get my pokey tool in and clear those up. I will do that in a moment. Good job I've got a bin underneath me. So the bundle, you can buy the bundle with everything. You can buy the bundle with or without the better press plates, depending on what system, if you have a system or not. And as far as I'm aware, you can buy everything individually. So it's all there in the pinned comments. Oh, you're late, don't worry. I wouldn't have noticed. You could have said you've been there lurking all the time, Julie. Not a problem. Yeah, beautiful results with the embossing folder. Exactly, I think so. So this is something that I like to kind of prove to you, because I know if I was going to buy a die that was this intricate and detailed, I would want to know that it's going to cut nicely. I'm not going to have problems with it. I did work for, I won't name them, I think they're still doing dies, but I worked for a company for many years that did a very, very intricate, delicate dies. And sometimes, occasionally, there was some, the more detailed they were, the harder they were to cut through, and it got difficult. So I like to show you that if I've got something really intricate, a die, I like to cut it live and show you, look, it cuts perfectly, really, really nicely. I'm just popping these pieces out though, because they're swirls, they do tend to twirl round each other a little bit. So just take your time, don't go yanking anything. But it's so worth it, especially when we get the gilding wax on these as well. So it was quite funny early, because I popped into Sam's live this morning, and we'd just made the decision to go live at 5 PM rather than 11 AM, and I was trying to get her attention. I know if I text her phone or anything, it'll cut off the live, so I can't do that. So I was sort of trying to say, I'm not going to be live at 11 now. And she just wasn't looking at the comments. I know some of you were there. She just wasn't looking at the comments. She got there eventually. But yeah, it was quite funny. But the roofer was extremely noisy. My rescue dog was not happy. I think tomorrow I'm going to be speaking to someone about coming to take him out. I'll take him for a long I don't know why I'm saying W to you. You all know what it is. A walk tomorrow, because he just gets stressed with noise, especially when he doesn't know what the noise, doesn't understand what the noise is. And it gets worse. He gets worse as the day goes on, the longer he's in it. So get someone to come and take him out for a little while, then I'll take him out for a little while, and hopefully it won't build up, because today he had a bit of a stressful day, bless him. That wasn't nice for him, but it's one of these things. We've got to have the roof replaced. We couldn't live with it as it was because we had some leaks. It's needed doing since we bought the house. As it's a complete renovation, it was always the one thing that we knew it was going to be the biggest expense of everything. There we go. So while I'm nattering, I've just got those cut out. Let's get rid of all these little bits. Come on, all the little bits. I can't have little bits hanging around. There. Gilding wax. Let's use the Sizzix Luster wax, or Luster Polish, Luster wax. I'll now have a silver hand for the rest of the evening. Let me see. Make sure there's no more comments that I'm missing. So what are we looking for? Actually, what I'd like, comment-wise, what I'd really like to know from everybody is, what would you like to see from textures? Like, is there ever a theme or a product that you think, oh, that would be, I'd really like that. I wish someone would bring that out, would do that. Let me know, because we are, we're designing collections nearly every month. Whether they're large ones or just little ones with a couple of items in. I'll just clean my finger up a little bit. So sometimes we just need a little bit of a boost with some ideas, and what would you like? So yeah, let me know. I'd like papers with your collections. Helen, yeah. So I have got some papers coming out as such next year, early in the year. I think it's early in the year. I do get my dates muddled though, because we designed so far in advance. I do sometimes forget when these things are coming out. Right, we're getting there with this one. We're getting there with this one. And then I'll just show you the better press system as well, how those less press plates work. But yeah, papers, I know I need to get, because I can design my own papers. It's very, very, tigers. Oh, that's interesting. I've never heard anyone ask for tigers before. Birds with texture. I did have some birds, and I've actually looked at restocking those, but maybe some different ones. I'm going to put these gates on a different way this time. I'm going to put them on this way instead. Just by gluing down the hinge edge, give a little bit of shape to the gate. You can make these much thicker. You can cut 2 or 3 layers and glue them together if you wished. I wouldn't cut anything much more than about 270 GSM with this, because it's so intricate. So yeah, we've got some birds. I was thinking about bringing the birds back as a restock with some items that matched them, perhaps. Steampunk and stuff for all. Oh, I've got some steampunk on its way. Steampunk cogs gears mixed with flowers. Really pretty, but steampunky. So you can pick and choose which parts you use. Okay, I'm actually giving away all the secrets now. But this is all next year. You'll have forgotten by then. Right. So there's the stem. Put that there. I just heard a little puppy bark. He's probably frustrated because it sounds like my daughter is trying to keep him from going in the garden, and he probably very much wants to go in the garden. So we're going to have the large flower. Now, you know what I'm like. I don't do anything. No, let's put them on there. I don't do anything small. I don't like small flowers. I like big flowers. I like big butterflies. I like big words and all of these. So you can pick and choose which stems, which heads go onto. I've chosen to do it that way. And then the leaves, you don't have to put leaves on if you want to leave it a little more bare, but I definitely will be adding the leaves on. And again, you can mix and match where you put these too. Let's go under here, tuck you under there, just squeeze you under there. There we go. Then I just need to add a sentiment onto the side. Now, very often I will make cards like this, for example, and I will leave the sentiment until another time because I don't know what I'm going to be sending it for. So do I do that? I think I'll do that this time. I think I will leave off the sentiment for now, but I've got so much here, and what I would probably do is die cut the word you from the similar colours. I've still got some cardstock that left, so cut from the similar colours and then just stamp and cut out the rest of the word, and I'll put it here. I think I'll wait until I know what I'm sending this for, whether it's a thank you or a get well soon or a birthday or you're the best, whichever one it is. Thank you, Helen. How do you mail such a big card? Your postal system? Yeah, we do have much better rates than the US. Because I've put this on a big card, though, it doesn't mean it has to be big. I've just I choose to do that. But yeah, they don't have to be as large as this at all. Obviously, the gate size, the height of the gates and the height of the flowers are kind of going to be your maximums. But you can definitely trim down the flowers. So if you like the flowers, you can just use parts of them. You don't have to use all of them. But as you can see, this is probably as large as the flower gets. And it's not quite as this. I reckon that's about A2. Would we say about A2 maybe? Something like that. It's not huge. It's not huge. Okay, so I'm going to leave my sentiment off there for now, but you can see it's starting to come together. But let's just run through the Better Press system with you and the Better Press plate. So you do need your die cutting machine. Like I say, I have got a video on my channel at the moment that's showing you how to use the Better Press system with what's the word, with alternative items. So at the minute I've got the magnolia in there, so let's do this one first. So I should have a couple of pieces of, I prepared and I did cut some watercolour cardstock. I did cut some, so what did I do with it? Of course I put it somewhere where I can't see it now, so I'll have to cut some more, I think, unless I put them in here. Oh no, there's one. I found them. So the magnolia is more of a rectangle. Excuse the noise. I just sort this mess out. Whereas the Today Is All About You one is more of a square. I've got a scrap of paper. It just saves my base plate. So this is the Better Press system from Spellbinders. There's a magnetic plate in there, and you've also got the lid, which is clear, so I can never see it, which, well, goes on either there, clips on top. Okay, so it's a bit like a stamp platform in that respect. It's heavy because it's got the thick base plate, so it can go through your die cutting machine without the need for additional shims. So what I'm going to do, this is magnetic. So you can see the actual pad is magnetic, so your metal letterpress plates will stick to it. So I'm going to, first of all, ink this with, I'm going to use my Memento ink. You can get Better Press ink, but I find this absolutely fine. Tell me the name of your channel. My channel is Papercrafting with Lou Collins. So yeah, type in that. You should be, hopefully be able to find it fairly easily. I put a video up yesterday doing the diorama card. I've got a couple of other videos going up over the next few days as well, once I get around to editing them. So just pressing, just be careful. Letterpress plates they feel dull, that they're not like a die, they're not sharp like a die. You can hot foil with the Better Press, yes. Thank you, Nikki. So they're not sharp, but if you are twisting and rubbing your ink pad into them rather than tapping too much, you could still damage the surface of your ink pad. Okay, so I do that on paper just so that I can then, and you position this, imagine, see these grid lines, imagine that's your card. So mine's going to be more like just a bit bigger than A7, just because that's how I've cut it. And I can do it down one edge, or I can do it diagonally. Let's do it down one edge, and I want to do it this side because, yeah, let's do it there. It's going to go just off the edge. And then you attach your paper to, because you've got the same grid lines on the base, you actually attach your paper to this. So you don't attach it, you don't put it over at the moment. Now the Better Press system does come with low tack tape in it, but I found any washi tape is absolutely fine, not a problem to use that. So I'm going to place this. If you're doing this directly onto a card base, you want to probably pay more attention to your guidelines, but this would probably be something I would cut out afterwards, so I'm not worried. Make sure I'm not missing a wedding theme. Nice. Do you mean like maybe a bride and groom silhouette and things, perhaps, Helen? So I'm going to use the magnetics. So that has clipped on, everything's in place, but there is a gap. The ink hasn't touched the paper yet. So now I'm going to run it through. Now I find if I run this through my Big Shot without this shim on its own, there's not quite enough pressure. Everyone's machine will be different, but for me it's not quite enough pressure. This is watercolor cardstock, Nikki. That's what I use as well, because like you say, cotton card is beautiful, a little bit too expensive for me to be using all the time, especially when I'm testing and things. So watercolor cardstock, if you've got a nice thick watercolor cardstock, that works fine. So I'm going to put that on top of that thin green plate. That's the only one I'm putting in, and you will need to press down and you roll it through just the same way as you would with a die. And there's a decent amount of pressure there. And there we go. Now we can see, I can see, I'm just going to keep this. Can you see how there it's embedded into my paper? Right, so I'm always very careful at lifting this up. When I lift it up, I don't want to move it. But look, we've got the beautiful stamped impression, but not only that, and I always find on camera, you're going to see this best from behind. You've got the, there we go, you've got the emboss as well, the letter pressing. So it's letter pressing with the ink. It's pressed into the, so you've got the texture on the surface. And it's really hard for me to show you that, like I say, on camera, but really beautiful. If you do it on watercolor cardstock, once your ink is dry, you can use your alcohol inks, or you can use your watercolors to color that in. You can use your pencils. You can leave it black and white if you want to, or as I have done with others that I showed you earlier, hang on, let me show you this one. I actually did that technique with clear embossing ink and then spread gold embossing powder all over it and heat set it, and it's absolutely perfect. So shall I do that in silver for the next one? Shall I just show you that once more? Thank you. Yeah, really pretty, really pretty. So the way I would clean these up, what did I do? I did have a wipe. There it is. And just give it a quick wipe, but essentially give it a really good dry. Make sure there's no liquid sitting in there. There we go. And pop that away, and then let's bring in the other plate. So this is the one that I spent the most. I did design both, but this is the one I spent the most time on. Again, I'm going to just put a piece of paper down just while I ink this. So I'm going to use my Versamark ink. Let me just get some nice, these are all my embossing powders in here. Get some nice silver, nice fine silver. I'll do the Ranger one, super fine detail, perfect. So get that out and ready. I'll say clear the decks a bit. It's got a little bit messy here. That's what we expect. So the reason I put the paper underneath, and it's just copy paper, printer paper, is because I don't want ink getting onto my base plate. It's not the end of the world, but sometimes with the pressure, your paper can kind of, shouldn't touch your paper, but I have had it where it has touched my paper or cardstock. away from the letterpress plate, and then I've just got this smudge that I don't want. So because it's clear, I always go overboard with my embossing ink. You don't need to put that much on, but I like to make sure it's there as I can't see it. And then again, lift this up, just place my hands underneath and make sure that's in there. Put that down, go there, and then onto my base plate. I'm going to tape. I'm just going to line these up just to make sure. Yep, should be okay there. Should be okay there. Just to make sure that that is in the right place. I did this the other day, and where I put my tape, of course, it didn't imprint, which it wouldn't, so bear that in mind. Now, because I'm going to be heat embossing, I'm just going to use an anti-static bag just to put powder all over my watercolour cardstock. But because you are impressing, you're embossing as well as, or debossing, as well as stamping, you are going to get a nice neat line for your powder to sit in, as long as you don't have any major smudges. So same thing again. Again, that was my die cutting machine. Squeeze the plates, feed them in, and just roll them through just the once, nice and slowly. And then as they come out the other end, I tend to squeeze the plates again, squeeze them tight so that nothing can move. It shouldn't move, really shouldn't, but just to be on the safe side until I can lift. And when I lift my plates up, I stick my thumb under this end and lift the top, so that, you know, when you lift something, sometimes the other end goes down, just to make sure that doesn't happen. Can you see that? We can see the impression there. Now I'm just going to remove this. I might have a little bit of sticky residue on the edges from my tape, which will capture the embossing powder. I'll just grab something to catch my powder with. This will look beautiful on, I should have done it on black. Should have done it on black, but never mind. It's done now. And it's just sitting in there perfectly. There we go. I'll quickly put this to the side, because as you all know, I'm very clumsy. I need to put things like embossing powder away straight away. And heat set this. Sorry, we're like, hi Gillian, how are you? Rosina, just a quick visit to see what you're making. Have a great weekend. Hello, have a fabulous weekend as well, Rosina. I hope you're well. So this is the new collection launch from Textures. It's called Secret Garden. So I've just run through the items and we're just having a play with some of them now. These are the letterpress plates to coordinate and to, what's the word, to go with the letterpress system from Spellbinders. Compatible with, that's the word I'm looking for. It took me ages, this design, to do, because I did it and it was too detailed for the letterpress system to be created from. It was just a bit too detailed, so I had to then go back and take a load of detail out, which was just painful when you've done all that work and you have to remove a load of it, but it's fine. I'm really pleased with the result now. So whether you just do it in black ink, coloured inks, you can do it in pigment ink, archival ink, embossing ink. There we go. So then it looks like it's foiled. Like I say, I should have done that on black, but never, or dark colour. But never mind, you can see there. Today is all about you. There we go. And that's the same in the gold. There. So hopefully you've enjoyed seeing all of the different items from the new collection. Apologies for putting the live back today for a few hours, but hopefully more of you have been able to join this evening. And if you're watching on catch up, thank you. Everything. Oh, Rosina wants CraftStash vouchers for Christmas. Everything is available on CraftStash now and through the links that are pinned on both YouTube and on Facebook as well. So you'll be able to see those there. I think that's it from me. I think I've shown you everything I possibly can. There's the sentiments, just seen the plates. Any questions, please find me on social media, drop me a message and I'll answer you as soon as I possibly can. I don't keep logged in all the time because I'd never get a weekend or a break, but I do log in every couple of days at least and try to answer questions. So I will be back, like I say, I am on Hobby Maker on Wednesday, so I'm preparing for that, and then I'll be back, I think it's on Thursday at, I want to say 12:30, 11 or 12:30 on the CraftStash channel here on it is Thursday, definitely Thursday next week, with the Alice in Wonderland craft along. So oh, there we go. If I hadn't pushed it back, you'd never have seen it. Thank you, Sally. Okay, lovely. Thank you so much, everybody, and Elaine and Helena. Have a fabulous weekend, and yeah, I'll see you all again soon. So take care and speak to you soon. Bye bye.